Yo, what's going on, fellas? Happy Thursday morning to you. Hopefully you're doing well. Morning's off to a good little start. Get some coffee, get some breakfast, and settle on into some sports and some good old sports betting talk. Let's make sure we go ahead and recap yesterday. Then let's talk some NHL. There is a good NHL spot to bet. Then also, what about our buddy Chris Paul? I think we got a nice little angle, obviously, with him going. Let's see if we can't talk about that one as well. So let's go ahead and throw up that recap from yesterday first, where we get to ring the cash register. Added through a very good, successful day, going 4-2 and plus 1.93 units. Love to see that right there. Hate to see that soccer parlay cash, though. A little two-day parlay was unsuccessful on the second day. Needed 2 goals in Manchester United versus Brentford, and yesterday was like a dream day for me in terms of watching sports. You guys should have seen me yesterday. I've got multiple computers and tablets over the years that I've just kind of kept, and I was streaming United versus Brentford. I was streaming 2 baseball games, one on the tablet, one on the other computer, just bouncing around. And this United versus Brentford game, boy, Brentford was so goddamn poor in that game. Really piss poor in the first half. Couldn't contribute a goddamn thing. Didn't come out better in the second half. Until they made substitutions was the only time Brentford really, grew into the match and started to look better. But, that was with about 20 or 25 minutes to go, so they couldn't get a goal. And United had chances, and, man, Fred missed a good one right there with about, I think it was like minute 88 or 89 where he skied it over the bar instead of keeping his head down over it like you're taught, right? You keep your head over the ball to keep the ball down. Instead, he leans back and the ball goes up for 3 points up over the goalpost. So, man, good opportunities in yesterday's game. Just couldn't quite get there on that second goal. So, lost that soccer parlay, but baseball was good to us. As you can see right there, going 4-1. We hit Dell and Cease over 7.5 Ks. We talk about late winners in soccer. How about a late winner in that, Brett? How about getting your last pitch to go for a strike, which gives you your 8th strikeout in a good plus 110 cash? I was screaming throughout this house. I'm sure they could hear me all the way down there at the ballpark. I was screaming so goddamn loud. Just late cashes, fellas. Just they feel so goddamn good. That one felt good, I tell you. And watching that game, boy, his control. And then I actually got digging into his game log. You could take over, well, I'm sure they're going to give you about 2.5 walks. He's trying to strike your ass out every time, and in doing so, he misses a little bit with his control. I think he had like 5 walks yesterday. Go look through his game log last season. He's multiple walks every single game. So maybe in cashing over 7.5 Ks, maybe we've also stumbled into another little bit of angle of, a walks angle. So we'll just kind of monitor Dylan Cease going forward. Then we also hit our cash cow, Mitch Keller, over 1.5 walks. That was an extremely uncomfortable watch. While he may have gotten a walk in the first inning, his control was super sharp, and he made us wait until the 6th inning, where thankfully he throws 4 straight balls of Verdugo, which obviously gives us that second walk and gives us the cash, because we had to bring that juice down a little bit. We did Tigers on the NRFI. 3 up, 3 down. I think Javier got 2 strikeouts in that top of the first inning. And that was an easy NRFI there by the Tigers. Keep it rolling there with Braves and Cardinals. Enjoyed watching that game, and was like, okay, Cardinals, can you help out? Can you help out? Braves said, we don't need the Cardinals to help out. They may be the number 1 team versus right-handers, but we are hot ourselves, and we'll take care of covering all 5 runs. Michaelis, other than that 1 inning, I think it was the 3rd inning, if I recall correctly, otherwise he was just getting beat up by the Braves, and holy hell, the Braves were obviously good, and obviously they won the World Series a couple years ago. Yeah, the Braves are looking really stinking good. So good job there by the Braves covering that over 4.5. We were tripped up by our team total parlay. Brewers certainly got their Guardians chances, and that seems to be the story there with the Guardians. Chances, right? Tripped us up the other night there with Shane Bieber. Couldn't scrape across enough runs, and again, opportunities yesterday against Mueller, and I just couldn't quite happen. So that's a good old sports betting loss. But then how about our other cash cow there? Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks, just like he did to us on that season opener, getting a walk in the first inning. And then he settles on down. He makes us sweat our ass off. But did you also notice the box score if you didn't watch the game like I did? He only had 80 pitches. We talk about that on the payoff pitch. This is not a guy that's throwing 190 pitches, not in this stage of his career. They like him to go 5, and then they'll let him out there go for the 6th if he's, pitch count is controllable around 80, but that's it. He gets about 80 and he's done. So I knew he wasn't going to come out for that 6th inning. I think we got another good plus money cash. So you love our 2 cash cows, and Mitch Keller and Zach Greinke coming through for us. Start off the season 2-0 for each of those guys. So yeah, great day at plus 1.93 units. Continues our good week at plus 3.54 units. And then, of course, we scraped across a couple arbitrage bucks last night doing DraftKings every Wednesday gift promo that they like to do. So hit that like button if you're a part of those cashes. Love to see that right there. What a good day right there. Good morning, Brian, and good morning to Jen as well. Alex Wood versus the White Sox. I can't wait to get on the payoff pitch and start talking about these 6 games. Very small slate due to 4 games being rained out, but there are great angles. I can't wait to talk about it. Good morning, Ross. Good morning, Ross. Let's talk about the NHL for a second, and I think it's just going to bring this to your attention, right? The Devils are taking on the Blue Jackets? Yeah, the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets allow the 3rd most shots in the NHL. They've been one of those teams that we've been kind of targeting, but it's the juice. Like, I really would like Nico Hischier, how you pronounce this guy's name. They got him at 2.5. He averages 3.2 shots on goal per game, which ranks 28th in the NHL, but they got it at minus 170. I'm just not quite comfortable going there. You could do Doug Hamilton, but he averages 3.4. They got his number at 3.5, but you would think that the caliber opponent there and the Blue Jackets may tip him over to get 4 or more. I couldn't disagree. I also am a little nervous. Maybe somebody could drop a comment in the chat. We know NBA is kind of winding down at the end of the season. Maybe NHL is too. Are we seeing any reduction in minutes? Like that also, I just don't know if that's a thing. Like, Devils are certainly a playoff-bound team. I don't know, or guys getting reduced amount of minutes. But either way, if you want to look at that, look at Nico Hischier. I think that is the one I would play. And maybe if there's a money line out there that you guys really like, you can bring on a little bit of a juice reducer. But I wish it wasn't minus 170. I would love to pull the trigger on that one. Let's talk about the NBA there for a second. Boy, the Nuggets have just continued to really clamp down on the point guard position. We love this angle there with the Nuggets, right? They're going to allow the point guard to have assists, but they're going to clamp down on their field goal percentage and on their points, and they are really stinking good over the last 30 days. They've become a top 5 team versus the point guards. We don't have any line, though. What's going on with the NBA? We know there's only a few more days left of the regular season of the NBA. Why no lines out? Are we not getting the Nuggets starters? So that one's going to have to be one that you're going to monitor on your phone, monitor the injury reports, and I will be able to do that because it doesn't kick off till 9 o'clock here local time. The kids will be well in bed, so when lineups come out, 8:30, I can certainly monitor them. If the Nuggets have their starters, you got to go ahead and take Chris Paul under his points. The way they are defending the point guard position, that is an absolute play. So, but again, there's no bets on that one. You go over to DraftKings and they'll give you the game and the total and the spread, but they won't give you any player props for any player. So that leads me to think that maybe coming down the stretch here, roster utilization is changing. And we've seen that over the years, right? How many times we've gotten burned by roster utilization late in the year. So keep that one in your back pocket. Monitor the injury reports. If you get Nugget starters, boy, I would love to take a Chris Paul under. So those are a couple just to kind of keep your eye on. Let's go ahead and see what those dogs are up to, how they've been barking lately. I have no idea, but I would think off the top of my head it was not a good day for the dogs, but that's just me thinking off the top of my head. Let's jump on in here and see. Let's see what these dogs are up to these days. $92. Wow, yesterday we had $95, so we lost 3 or so units on those dogs. How many did we get yesterday? How many did we get? How many dogs did we get to bark? There was a lot of red there, a lot of red. Holy hell. 1, 2, 3. 3 dogs. 3 out of, was there 13 games yesterday? That is ugly. I'm sure Squirrel's going to let me know that the Pirates swept the Red Sox coming on the payoff pitch. He's definitely going to let me know that happened. But that's all right, because I said the Astros wouldn't get swept, and the Astros didn't get swept. But yeah, the Pirates swept the Red Sox. The Pirates swept the Red Sox. All right, let's go ahead and buy these 6 dogs, slap our dollar on each of these suckers. And again, if there's somebody out there telling you that the dogs are profitable, no, they're not. We are down, before we do that, 7.16 units. That'd be 7 point. Dogs on the season are down 7.16 units. Yeah, dogs are not performing well this year, which is the same thing we saw last year, which last year we really took it on the chin. Obviously, we were making real wagers and really putting real money out there. Thankfully, we're not doing that this season, fellas. Thankfully, this season we're just doing it for goddamn entertainment purposes, because I would not like the ass whipping that's coming, just like I did not enjoy that ass whipping last year. That was not enjoyable. So, yeah, thankfully this year it's just for good old entertainment purposes, which I'm going to pull the plug at the end of April by entertainment purposes, and then I'm going to take that money in Barstools, and we're going to do you and me some free rolls, and we're going to split the profits. That's what the plan with that money. If they're not profitable by the April, if they're profitable by the end of April, then we'll keep it going. But if not, then I say we'll take, let's say we're down to $75. We'll just start doing $10 parlays off rapid fire on Payoff Pitch, and you and me can split the money. How does that sound? So like that right there. At least it sounds good to me. All right, that's it. Payoff Pitch. There's 6 games. I'm going to go get us a Hockey Squirrel, and we're going to be live at 9 minutes. Payoff Pitch. There are some good angles today in this baseball slate. Look forward to breaking down this slate with you guys. So, all right, we'll catch you guys on in a little bit. 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome on to today's episode here of the Payoff Pitch, where we talk every single baseball game, breaking it down and giving you guys bets along the way. We're powered by Bet Openly. He's the Hockey Squirrel, and I'm Jason. What's going on there, man?
Hey, buddy. Not too much. Yesterday, I think I finished like 5-3, I think. Baseball went pretty well, and then I had a late night loss. I had a Edmonton Oilers team total against the lowly Anaheim Ducks, and it didn't happen. So
what? Everybody cashes against the Ducks. How did that not happen? They take all the shots. They're just shoot all.
Yeah, it was 0-0 after the first period. So kind of unsuspected there, but oh well.
I would have lost a lot.
Still a profitable day, and we'll take that, right?
Yeah, good. Of course, we'll take the profit. I had a good little day yesterday, 4-1. I hit my best bet again yesterday, so 3-0 this week on best bets. I can't wait to give that out on today's show. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do something a little bit different today. If you guys were hanging out with us all last season, whenever there was a day where there weren't a ton of games, we ditched the format that you see on your left-hand side, and we're just going to talk about all 6 games, a nice, good little detail, take a few minutes and break them all down, and I'll certainly give you picks along the way, but then do still stay till the end of the show because, of course, we'll give you which bets that we've actually decided to put our money behind. So with that being said, let's just take them in order. We've got the first game here. We've got Red Sox and Tigers, where Squirrel, when I looked at this one, I can only get behind the Tigers, that's for sure, right? Now, I love looking at baseball, at least how I handicap baseball. Everybody knows that I take it in small chunks, and you can watch the Red Sox, right? We talked about, I think it was on Monday's show, how they were really hot, but boy, have they cooled off. They're only hitting 244 right now versus right-handers, but you get Turnbull Hill for the Tigers. He's really just god-awful. Flip it over to the other side, the Tigers. They're getting a left-hander in Sale. Now, they faced 2 left-handers in McClanahan. They didn't hit their F5 team total, but they had chances. They did hit their F5 team total against Framber Valdez there of the Houston Astros. But that doesn't mean that they're hitting left-handers that great. They're only hitting left-handers at 185 right now. But you can see that it's like it's knocking on the door, and the Tigers are ready to bust open versus the left-handers. And then here comes in walking Chris Sale, the guy that got rocked by the Orioles in his opener, got rocked all spring training, hasn't pitched that much over the years due to injuries. You could see a scenario in which the Tigers pull this game out. What are some of your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so again, I approach everything numerically from projection standpoints, and I watch the lines and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, from the opener to now, the Tigers are the side that have received the love opening. Again, it always depends on your books. You want to key in on some certain books as the so-called sharper ones, right? So again, this tends to be your Circa, Bookmaker, Pinnacle, all these ones that people regard as the sharpest. There are reasons for why they're the sharpest, mostly because they don't back out winners and they take the largest limits. And so when those books move, so does the rest of the world generally. And so when the line opens at a 135 or 140, depending on your book, and it's now 120, 125, I think is the highest achievable that I can really tell. So that's a bit of a tip-off there as well. And then what you've already touched on in Chris Sale. And hey, the Tigers are not, definitely not, laying down. They definitely put up a fight against the Astros and whatnot too. So some unexpected stuff there. They've gotten some runs. And the only other team I think they played was the Rays, right? And I think they're still the only undefeated team in the league. So you got to give them some, yeah, they played probably arguably the toughest team right now. So 2 tough opponents. I think they've held their own, and they go and it would be a home opener for the Detroit Tigers now today, right? So there's another factor if you want to. What? Detroit?
No. While you were talking, I'm trying to think. Was that first series in Detroit or Tampa? I can't quite remember, but either way.
I have one of my members.
Huh?
It was in Tampa because one of my members is from Detroit, and he was complaining that it's opening day in Detroit and he has to work. So that's how I know that.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't have opening day though in Detroit. It's still cold, right? Shouldn't have opening day in Chicago. It's still cold. Put them in Tampa where it's nice and warm. I mean, are you going to the home opener say in Minnesota? No.
No, because it got postponed to tomorrow. That's why.
Rainy, exactly.
It got postponed. They don't even have it today. It's just tomorrow. It will be tomorrow though. But I was planning on going just because it's so cheap. Ticket is $10 and parking's $10. So there's that.
All right, so back to this game here.
The underdog is
the play.
The underdog is the play. Yep. For sure, it's Detroit Tigers for me, and this would have been my typical fourth inning long shot play. I think for today would have been the Detroit Tigers. So, if you wanted to rename that to Squirrel's underdog of the day, there you have it. Detroit Tigers right in the first game this morning.
What'd you give yesterday? Did you hit your dog yesterday? What was your dog? What was your dog? I don't remember.
Boy,
I can't remember.
I'd have to look at the slate because I can't remember, man.
All right, well, you think of that.
Okay, wait. I had 3. This is why. I had 3, and I said I was going to wait on the Mariners. How did that game end up? I never bet it.
I think they beat Ohtani. Was it 4-3? I can't
remember. It was against the Angels, but they were up to like plus 160. I'm going to look at yesterday's slate of games so that I can remember what I even
All right, while you
said,
look at that, look at that, let me tell people, Chris Sale did have strikeouts versus the Orioles, and that could be a good angle within this game if you do like the pitching props, because the Tigers versus left-handers in 85 plate appearances, they're striking out 35.3% of the time. So that kind of coincides with their bad batting average. So it's kind of like, you're with the Tigers here, are you making a prediction that this is maybe going to be their bust out versus left-handers? Because we all remember their torrid, they were one of the best teams last season versus left-handers. They're getting a capable pitcher here, and Sale, who gave up 3 home runs to the Orioles. He gave up 3 home runs in spring training in 15 innings. So I mean, the Tigers definitely get to him. But within this game, also maybe look at Chris Sale to get some strikeouts. I think another good play here is if you like the Tigers to hit Sale. Even though the Red Sox have regressed in their hitting, nobody really likes Spencer Turnbull. And you get the bullpens here are both bottom 5. So this could be a good over spot is where I'm going right here. Maybe there's going to be runs on the starters, and then these bullpens could certainly give them up. I know, the Tigers, like you said, they've run into the Rays. They've run into the Astros. So maybe that's why their bullpen numbers look kind of really bad. But the Red Sox, I mean, you face the Orioles and Pirates and your bullpen numbers are bad. I think that bullpen is bad. So I like the over here, and I like the Tigers as well. So looks like we're definitely in agreement there on the Tigers for that one.
So for yesterday, I gave out the Atlanta Braves plus 120, and they won 5-2. Mm-hmm. The Mariners did lose 3-4, but it was still a pretty close game for a plus 160. And then you were saying the Pirates weren't going to sweep the Red Sox, which happened, and then the Tigers didn't sweep the Astros. So
like that.
There you go.
Throw that jab in there. That the Pirates going to get it done right. Hey, but Mitch Keller came through for the people here. A friend of the program came through. So I mean, are we really going to complain? No, we can't really complain. All right, so that's the bet there. I would do maybe Sales over on K's with the Tigers and the over. So that's how we like it right there. And maybe that Tigers F5 team total. It looks pretty good right there at 1.5 runs at minus 105. All right, let's go right here into Chicago next, where the White Sox, right outside this window here, are taking on the San Francisco Giants. This is the rubber match. They've each won one game in this series. White Sox picking up the win yesterday. Within this game right here, it's Lance Lynn against Alex Wood. It's the same thing from yesterday, right? The White Sox really have a bad bullpen, so it's like, how long can Lance Lynn go to maybe make it so you don't have to expose
offset some of that.
Offset it. That's good right there. Giants, though, aren't a great bullpen. They're still in bottom 10, while the White Sox are bottom 3. The Giants are bottom 10. So I'm still going to like the over in this one. In terms of maybe
Yeah.
possibly a winner, the offensive numbers are still on the White Sox side and still on the White Sox side by a damn good margin. You get
Very
like the top
a
5
mile,
versus
yeah. As far
right-handers.
as hits go,
Yeah.
I would love to see the White Sox bring in more of those runs when they're. I've just seen so many stranded players from the White Sox in the limited amount of innings I've watched, but it always seems like they have the bases loaded for some reason and they just leave them there. It's really frustrating. I think they're the number 4 team in terms of hits, and the Giants are far opposite at the bottom of the board there.
Yeah.
With all that said, though, this has been a little bit back and forth of a series anyway, and I think I would take the Giants regardless as the underdog here, but I also like the over. I like the over more than I like the Giants, but I think those are my two plays there for the afternoon in that game.
Literally, you took the words right out of my mouth. While I struggle more to pick a winner. It sounds like you were a little bit more convincingly on the Giants side. I'm with you. It's kind of been a back and forth series. I kind of just like the over. I think the over is hit in the first 2 games of this series. The number is at 8. Nice weather today in Chicago. I like the over more than trying to
I
pick
did
a
take
winner.
the over, and it was at over 8. I got minus 105, and I think if you're in regulated state, I want to say it was at Caesars Sportsbook was the best one. Otherwise, I think you can actually get. Let me see what I got. Someone did accept it already on Bet Openly, and I think I got
Ooh,
plus
for an over.
103
Ooh,
for
for
the
an
over
over
8.
8. Wow,
Let me
great
see.
number.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm seeing
I
like
did.
minus
Plus
115s,
10.
minus 120s.
Yeah, I got plus 103 for over 8 at 12:10 today. Yeah, 12:10 today, something like that.
Wow, that's good.
110,
Because like I
whatever.
said, I'm seeing minus 115s, minus 120. So yeah, to me, take the over. Don't try and figure out a winner because these bullpens, either bullpen could blow it coming down the stretch, and there's no confidence in either bullpen to lay a minus 120 or take a chance on a dog because the bullpens are that bad.
Right.
So. All right, let's keep it going right here. Let's go to Kansas City next, where we've got the Blue Jays taking on the Royals. Now, this one, Squirrel, I do want to pick a winner, and I do want to take the Blue Jays in this one. Obviously, you're not doing the minus 210, so maybe you come down to the run line. I'm liking the upward trajectory of this Toronto Blue Jays offense, which is now hitting 281 versus right-handers. A very low K percentage at 17.8 is just vastly better than what the Royals are hitting at 154. They're not getting it done. They're only slugging 258. Royals are bringing no power to the plate. So I've got one offense trending up, another offense that's just, I mean, the Royals have kind of just been bottom 3 dormant versus right-handers all season long. I only want to get behind the Blue Jays. I love the F5 team total. I love the F5 money line, the F5 run line. This is going to be a very nice day, I think, for the Blue Jays to walk out of themselves and win this series. What about for you?
Yeah, it's one of those games where I think if the Royals can just be average, just put up a couple. It's one of those games where I think Jays even possibly have a potential of getting the over themselves or getting very close. Putting up 6, 7, 8 runs on their own. So I don't think that an under is anything I would personally touch.
Oh,
Over 8 is still achievable. So. The over in this game is where I'd go to avoid a minus 200 and something, unless there's a different angle that you can attack, again, with pitcher props or something like that. But if you're just looking at, your major markets, I think the over is what I would grab at 8.
yeah, let's talk about those props there for a second. And I'm a little bit more nervous in that over than I guess you are because of the Royals and just how bad they are. Kevin Gausman, went up against the Royals last season and had himself a nice outing. I trust Gausman a whole hell of a lot more than Jordan Lyles. And this is the reason why I really just want to back the Blue Jays. Jordan Lyles was a member of the Baltimore Orioles last season, went up against the Blue Jays multiple times last season and just got hit in every single outing. I mean, listen to some of these batting averages. Matt Chapman, he's hitting 429 off Jordan Lyles. Whit Merrifield's hitting 375. Brandon Belt's hitting 333. Vlad Guerrero's hitting 333. Springer's hitting 286. Like, everybody's got great numbers off Jordan Lyles. It's only backing the Toronto Blue Jays in this matchup. I would be nervous on the full game over. Again, give me a team total. If you want a guy that can hit a bomb in this game, go for Matt Chapman. He's got 9 hits off Jordan Lyles, with 5 of them being a home run. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get his first home run this season. You can see he's getting doubles. His hasn't gotten his home run. You love it when a guy is very familiar on that mound throwing it. So I like Matt Chapman in this. Again, a lot of great high batting averages, well over 300. Blue Jays are going to roll in this one. So I like the Blue Jays. I'll come along on your over, but it's not one that I bet. I just want to back the Blue Jays on this one.
In terms of team total projections, you're looking at the most likely outcome. I mean, I know when I say the most likely outcome, because there are so many possible outcomes, we're talking like 3 or 4%, which is, 4% is like pretty high for one final score to be 5-3. But that is like the team total projection, right? Would be Blue Jays score 5 and the Royals score 3. So anything over that, which I'm saying the likelihood is higher that the Blue Jays score more than 4.5 or 5 runs. So really, I'm just looking for the Royals to be pretty much strictly average and put up, 2-3 runs to try to contribute something to that over, because I think Blue Jays are probably going to come pretty close to doing it on their own.
If you're going to come up, yeah, I agree. And then if it hasn't hit over yet, let's talk about this Royals bullpen, bottom 5 in the MLB. I mean, a 5.16 ERA, an FIP of 5.14, and opponent's batting average of 287. Just god-awful numbers. I think the Blue Jays hit Lyles, and I think the hits keep on coming. So, all right, we both like the Blue Jays. You like the over. Love that right there. Give you guys a couple props. I mean, if you want a pitching side of that, yeah, take Gausman maybe over his outs and just fade Jordan Lyles, against guys that just have really great numbers off of him. So let's flip it over now to Colorado, where I believe they're getting their home opener. Their Rockies are welcoming the Nationals in town, and this game, boy, does it have me conflicted. I gravitate immediately to an over. The Nationals are really good versus left-handers, and they even hit the F5 team total yesterday against Shane McClanahan, who is vastly better than anything Kyle Freeland can go ahead and throw up there. The Nationals are hitting 326 versus left-handers, so you expect the Nationals to hit Freeland. You expect the Rockies to do good at home, and I would normally just throw all my cash at this one because it's just Josiah Gray on the mound, who is garbage. But the Rockies don't have the great numbers, but Gray's not that great. This one smells like an easy over. What do you think there, Squirrel?
I do think so. This is also, for a fun fact, the first game that we get that has a total of 11 or higher. I'm sure we will have quite a few more, but this is the first game of the 23 season that is that way. Generally speaking, and you'd asked me to do this yesterday, I did do the research and look this up for you. You wanted to know what the numbers were or if there were any trends at each total number. So if you went extremely low or extremely high, generally in any season, but this season so far, 6.5 over under 6.5 has gone under 6 times and gone over once. So you'd be 6-1 going under 6.5 so far, and also 6-1 is the home teams when the totals are that low. And the home teams have also coincidentally been all the favorites. So yeah, I mean favorites and unders, but again, that's what you generally expect. Mm-hmm. But conversely to that, we're looking at a total of 11, 11.5, or 12, at Coors Field. Those generally go over, right? And those are the ones where the general idea is when you see an extremely low total, 6.5, you want to naturally go over. I mean, this is just like the beginner psychology of betting, right? The general public idea of like, oh, that total's too low, so I'm going to go over, or that total's too high, so I'm going to go under. It's just a lot of runs to expect 12. But no, it's correct. I did look at the wind also at Coors Field today. It's not really going to be a major impact, but directionally it is blowing the way that you would want it to at that particular field. I think it's going to be about northeast at game time, 6 miles an hour. So nothing insane, but over 11 is the play there. And Colorado Rockies on the money line would be where I'd go. Not now, however, though. It's now minus 150 or higher. Earlier this morning, I think you could have gotten it at 140. I picked up, I want to say minus 138 is what I'm on at Bet Open lately for the money line, and someone. So if I'm against somebody.
Minus 130.
They wanted the Nationals.
The Rockies. That's good because I'm seeing about minus 150.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. If I had to pick a winner, while the Nationals have great left-handed numbers, Gray's just god awful. He's just god awful. So I do like the Rockies to go ahead and pick up the win in their home debut. I'm with you. I do like the over. I think there's another good angle in this one. Kyle Freeland got 1 strikeout in his season debut against the Padres. You want to look at this Nationals team, and they're number 3 based on strikeout percentage at only at 11.7. I mean, those are numbers where you throw all your cash at the unders. When I take an over, I look at 28% and above, and then I'm like, okay, then I'm starting to think a pitcher can go over his total. When I go under, I look at 15% and under, and they're at 11.7, which is third best, but damn near probably best because the teams that are first and second, they don't have many plate appearances. The Nationals have 111. Here's where it's going to give you encouragement here for taking the Kyle Freeland under. He only got 1 strikeout in his season opener against the Padres. Then you go back and look at his splits in 2022, and I bet this is the case for most Rocky starters, right? We know how the hitting favors Colorado, but in 2022, he had 87 innings pitched at home. He had 87.2 innings pitched on the road, so talking the same number of innings pitched. He had 72 strikeouts on the road and only 59 at home. Obviously, all the hitting numbers favor or the hitting numbers suggest he just gets hit at home, and we know why. It's Colorado, so I like his under 3.5 Ks. I don't see him getting more than 1 every other inning, and I don't see him going 7 or more innings. So if he goes 6, I think he'll, at max, have 3 strikeouts. So I love taking his under. It's at plus money. I like his under on the strikeouts for a prop within that game. But, yeah, give me the Rockies, as you say, and give me the over as well.
That leaves us with 2 games, right?
Yeah, let's pull up my sheet here. Padres and Braves. So it's Blake Snell, the guy we know is going to strike you out, but he's going to give up hits and give up walks against Spencer Strider, which another guy's going to give you high strikeouts. This game, if you could just take the over number of strikeouts, that number would probably be around, I remember it have to be around 16, 17. There's going to be a lot of strikeouts. What are you thinking in this one, Squirrel? It's the Atlanta Braves, hot team.
Oh,
what
boy.
Are you thinking here?
It's a game I didn't even touch, but I have a couple of really seriously favorite pitchers. Among them, as you already know, Alek Manoah. I like Walker Buehler a lot. Think he's injured though still. He's been having injury issues, but I do like him. And the last one is Spencer Strider. Absolutely. The mustache and everything, man. Is absolutely excellent pitcher, though, and yeah, the strikeout is very, very probable with Spencer Strider. So, do you lean towards a low-scoring game? I don't feel that taking a minus 160 is remotely worth it for the Braves. I don't really want to go against Spencer Strider either, and I don't know. I just don't really have much of an angle on this game. I passed it. I didn't bet it, and you don't have to bet every game either. I don't even really want to give an angle necessarily.
Debbie Downer. Jeez Louise.
No, I really don't have an angle. I like Strider. Tough. I think where I would go is strikeout props in that game. That's where I'd go.
This one's tough, but the number is 8.5. That's a lot of strikeouts. I don't normally take it over, even if you give it to me at plus money. That's you. I mean, you run into one bad inning and your pitch count's now too inflated, and it's gonna be tough to get 9. I don't like that. That's too high of a number.
No, that's terrible.
I'll tell you what. I mean, we've talked about this Braves offense, right? Gave us a good cash yesterday on our best bet of the day. They're hitting 301 versus lefties. They've got a great walk percentage. You could see where Blake Snell gets in all kinds of trouble against this great Atlanta Braves offense. So I think they are a great money line piece today. Maybe they even cover that run line at a good plus money price. But I really just want to just back the Braves. They've got a good bullpen sitting in the top 10 across all the major categories. Padres aren't a whole hell of a lot of worse. They're in about top 15, but the edge does go to the Braves in the bullpen. Yeah, I thought props were tough within this game, but give me the Braves. What's with the over? The over was at 8.
Yeah.
Padres are decent right now versus right-handers. I kind of can't. This is a game where
juiced a bit to the over though, which I don't know. I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, this is the opposite of Giants White Sox. I wanted the over in Giants White Sox. This one I want the Braves. I want the better pitcher. I want the better offense. I want the better bullpen. So it's check. Give me the Braves across the board.
Cool. That brings
All
us to our last game, the late game tonight, Dodgers and Diamondbacks. You have Dustin May and Merrill Kelly. This is a matchup we already saw just under a week ago, right? On the 31st, March 31st, this was the matchup. And Dustin May, if I remember right off the top of my head, he went 7 innings and gave up, I don't think, any runs, like 3 hits, I think, something like that. Merrill Kelly didn't go nearly as long, but I don't think he gave up any runs either. So, um, you know, I would. This is a tough one, right? Because you always talk about that hitter familiarity. Like I think it's tough because it's which way does it go, right? I mean, do you get repeat results from those pitchers, or do the batters figure it out and tag them up?
Yeah, I mean, the pitchers may have their day, but you guys know from last season, we'll love betting this angle of I just saw you 5 days later. I don't care if you were I actually like that you were successful 5 days later. We see it. I mean, how many times did we bet this angle last year? Blindly bet it. I saw this matchup, Dustin May versus Merrill Kelly, and said, wasn't that opening day, or not opening day, but like their first start? And once I confirmed that, I took the over, the F5 over. It's at plus money. It's at even money. It's a system play for me. We've seen it too many times. I'll gladly take an occasional loss for the amount of wins that you'll rack up in this scenario. Neither offense is crushing it, but too much familiarity 5 days ago. And this Kelly guy, it's not like, go look up his game log against the Dodgers. Like, they know him. They know, and the Diamondbacks know May. This one is an easy over for me. I like the F5 over. Obviously, people know I like to target the starting pitching more than the bullpen. So easy F5 over for me. I guess if I had to pick a winner,
I'd even go full game. I mean, I wouldn't be against it either. So, I'll go over 9 then in the game. Do you care for a side at all, or is it just a money line? I mean, just a total for you? I don't have an opinion about it either way.
I'll lean Dodgers because we get the better offense. We get a bullpen that isn't too far off pace of what the Diamondbacks numbers are putting up right now. Starters, I don't know. I struggle with the side. Just give me the over. Yeah, just give me the over.
Do you think Dodgers win this matchup? Do you think Dodgers win 60% of the time is the question you have to ask yourself at minus 150?
At minus 150. In this same
matchup. Because that's just the implied odds.
Right.
So they would actually, to be profitable, they'd have to win more than 60% of the time, right? Because that's just breaking even at minus 150. So this is where it becomes tough with the favorites, right? Mm-hmm. This is why the underdogs are nice if you can pick and choose, but I just don't know if this is the day for the Diamondbacks. So, I mean, the smartest play, the best play is the total to go over 9, or maybe that first 5, as you were saying.
All right, let's go ahead and throw up our bets. Those are the only 6 games today, which start in a little bit over an hour and a half. Don't have yours up on the screen like normal, so let me toss yours up in here. Move us over here a little bit for a second. There we go. What do you bet today, Squirrel? You got a couple dogs and an over here?
Oh, yeah. Yep. So back to the first game of the day there is going to be in the Tigers against the Red Sox. I'll take the Tigers money line. That would have been, as I said, my long shot in the 4th inning if this was a normal slate anyway. Giants there in the money line against the White Sox. I also think the over is a viable option there. I think I am going to play both the total to go over there as well. And then the Nationals and Rockies, man, home opener there for the Rockies in Colorado. And while it's not against a left-hander at home, which would be the absolute most ideal situation, I still think that taking the over 11 and at plus money, again, like I said, I think Caesars is the one you want to check for that to get plus 105.
I agree. Your Tigers play, I'm just kind of looking around the prices. I think you got to get on bet openly because there are going to be people who are going to want the Red Sox from a name perspective, maybe even a Chris Sale name perspective. If you want anything weird,
I already got it. Someone already accepted it just over plus 130, plus 132.
Yeah, you got a great one right there. And yeah, hop on over to Bet Oakland if you want to get a number like that because you can't get it at any of these other books. So as you can see right there, I'm going to go ahead and roll with that F5 over between the Dodgers and Diamondbacks at even money. I'm going to roll with that Blue Jays F5 team total over 2.5 runs at Kyle Freeland to stay under 3.5 Ks. I'm excited about the prospects of what could happen today in terms of that card and the amount of wins we could rack up today. six games, but 3 beautiful bets, I believe.
And with the smaller baseball card, we do have a lot of hockey going on today, and I have quite a bit of plays going on there, and then some NBA as well. So if you're interested in any of that, head over to hockeysquirrel.com on top of the payoff pitch for anything else that I'm on today.
All right, you can get all that down in the video description. Come on back tomorrow. There's a big slate on Friday in the MLB. We'll resume the normal left-handed side menu that you guys are accustomed to, but we kind of like to do this whenever there's a day where there's a small little slate. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Good luck with whoever bets you may decide to put in. We'll see you back here tomorrow live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Good luck today, fellas.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.